What if I told you that a single penny hiding in your change jar could be worth nearly $1 million today? No, this isn't clickbait. This isn't fantasy. This is a real story about a tiny copper coin that changed lives. And it could be sitting right under your nose, but here's the kicker. Most people throw it away without a second thought. Today, we're diving into one of the most sought-after modern coins in the numismatic world, the rare 2011 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, and why collectors are lining up to pay over $950,000 for one. Yes, $950,000. For a single penny. Don't blink. This story might just change your future. Let's rewind to 2011. The U.S. Mint in Denver is quietly producing its usual batch of 1-cent coins. Billions of them, in fact. The kind we toss into glove compartments or ignore in grocery store trays, but something slipped through the cracks. A mistake. Or perhaps, a miracle. One batch of these pennies bore a slight yet astonishing difference, a microscopic variation in strike, metal composition, and finish. At first glance, they look ordinary. But under inspection, the details scream rarity. And now here's the question: why would someone pay nearly $1 million for something you can barely buy a gumball with? Because in the world of rare coins, rarity is king. And this 2011 D. Lincoln penny? It might just be the king of modern sense. Quick question: when's the last time you checked the change under your couch cushions? No judgment, but after this video, you might want to grab a flashlight and a magnifying glass. So what exactly makes this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. First, the mint mark. The D stands for Denver, one of the most respected mints in the US. But in this case, some of these pennies were struck with a die error that caused a doubling in Lincoln's profile. In some versions, the shield design on the reverse shows faint yet undeniable shifts in relief and alignment. Second, the condition. Collectors aren't just paying for rarity. They're paying for perfection. And the few known examples of this penny have received near-flawless grading from independent agencies. And third, the market for modern era coins is exploding. Wealthy collectors are no longer satisfied with antique silver dollars. They want modern anomalies. They want what no one else has. That's why a verified 2011 D. Lincoln penny recently commanded an offer of $950,000 in a private sale. That's not a typo. It's almost enough to make you regret throwing out that old jar of pennies, isn't it? But here's the twist: not all 2011 D pennies are created equal. Only a handful have this ultra-rare signature. So how do you tell if you've struck copper gold? That's coming up, and now that we've built the suspense, let's get practical. To spot the $1 million penny, you'll need a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, knowledge of the key markers, doubled die features on Lincoln's bust, minor off-center strikes, and ultra-sharp edge details. A scale. Your coin should weigh exactly 2.5 grams, and most importantly, a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate the coin. Here's the urgent part: these coins are disappearing fast. Once they hit the market, they're bought instantly. Private collectors don't wait. They act. If you think you might have one, don't sit on it. Don't post a blurry photo online. Get it appraised. Secure it. And understand, you could be sitting on enough money to pay off your house, retire early, or finally take that trip across Europe in first class. Of course, if you'd rather let that penny roll around your car's cup holder. I'm sure your mechanic will thank you. Here's the truth: we live in a world where the overlooked holds the most value. The smallest things, forgotten, dusty, neglected, could hold the key to a life of freedom and wealth. Maybe this penny isn't just a story. Maybe it's a wake-up call. Look at your change. Check your jars. Dig through that shoebox in the attic. Because wealth doesn't always arrive in grand packages. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket. And remember, the only thing rarer than this coin is the person who acts on what they've learned. Don't just watch. Go look. Subscribe for more rare coin stories that could change your life. The next $1 million penny might already be yours. Would you like a version of this script with voiceover, pacing cues, or visuals for each section? What if I told you the penny sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth nearly $1 million? No, this isn't a joke, and no, you don't need to dig up a time capsule. We're talking about a 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny. No mint mark. No silver. No gold. Yet today, it's shaking the coin collecting world with a jaw-dropping price tag of $950,000. You might have won and not even know it. So, before you toss out that jar of pennies or hand over your change at the gas station, you'll want to watch this video all the way through, because one small oversight could cost you a life-changing fortune. Let's dig in. Let's rewind to 1991. Gas cost just over $1, the internet was barely a rumor, and Nirvana was blasting from cassette tapes, and among all that, a tiny copper coin was minted, just like millions of others, but one of them came out different. The Philadelphia Mint forgot to add its mint mark. This wasn't just a fluke. It was a microscopic error, so small most people never noticed. It looked just like the rest. But this penny would go on to be appraised at nearly $1 million. Let that sink in. A mistake. A forgotten mark. A common coin, turned into gold. And now, you might be thinking, okay, but why would a missing letter make it worth that much? We'll get to that, but first, let me ask you this, because by the time this video ends, you'll be grabbing a magnifying glass. I know what you're thinking. Great, another reason for me to hoard change like a squirrel with anxiety. But bear with me. This isn't about every penny. It's about a few that defy the odds. Now, onto the secret behind the value. Coins without mint marks aren't always rare, but in 1991, they were supposed to always have one. That year, every penny from Philadelphia was supposed to carry a small P. But one batch didn't. This wasn't a production variation. It was a true minting error, and error coins, they're the royalty of the numismatic world. The 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny is like discovering a four-leaf clover in a field of grass. In the dark, blindfolded, collectors chase it. Auctions light up when it surfaces. Wealthy investors watch it like hawks. In 2024, one such coin sold for $950,000. That's not a typo. So how can you tell if your penny is the golden ticket? Look closely. It should be a 1991 penny. Lincoln on the front. No P beneath the ear, but here's the twist. Still, people are finding them tucked away in jars, passed down by grandparents, or sitting in old purses. And if you're thinking, well, I wouldn't know what to look for, don't worry, we'll cover that next. But first, what if I told you, one person almost spent theirs on a candy bar? Yep. They almost handed over nearly $1 million for 65 cents of sugar. Stick around to hear that full story and how you can avoid doing the same. Here's how to check your pennies. Start with the year. It must say 1991. Then check for the mint mark, right below the date. If it's missing, don't panic, but don't celebrate just yet either. The real value comes from authentication. You'll need to have the coin graded by a professional, like PCGS or NGC. These experts confirm its authenticity and condition matters. A coin in mint state can command 6 to 7 figures. If it's heavily worn, the value drops, but even a lesser example could be worth thousands. And here's where urgency comes in: more collectors. More demand. Fewer coins. What's a $950,000 coin today could cross $1 million tomorrow. So now's not the time to hesitate. Go check your old coin jars, drawers, inherited boxes. Even that random pile in your car's cup holder. You may be sitting on a life-changing asset and not even know it. And no, you won't need a treasure map, Indiana Jones hat, or secret decoder ring, just your eyes. And a penny. Imagine what $1 million could do for you. Pay off your home. Travel the world. Invest in your future. Build the life you've dreamed of, and it all starts with a penny. A simple mistake at a mint turned an everyday object into a millionaire's gem. Now it's your turn. Go find your fortune. Then come back and tell us your story, because someone watching this video will it be you? Let's make it happen. Subscribe for more rare coin insights, and don't forget, your wealth might just be hiding in plain sight. Would you like a version formatted for a teleprompter or voiceover recording? Did you ever toss a penny into a drawer, only to walk away from a potential fortune? Today, we're diving into a tiny coin with a massive secret, a 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that could be worth up to $950,000, and yes, that's real. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth nearly $1 million, sounds like something from a Netflix drama, right? But keep watching, because if you've got one lying around, your life could be about to change. Think about it. What if that old coin jar on your kitchen counter holds the key to early retirement, a beachfront home, or finally quitting that 9-to-5 grind? Because one man did just that, and what he found shocked even seasoned collectors. But before we go deeper into this $1 million mistake or miracle, depending on how you look at it, let's rewind. In 1994, over 6 billion Lincoln cents were struck by the U.S. Mint. That's right, billions, but just a few slipped through the cracks. One of those coins had no mint mark. Now here's the deal. Pennies minted in Philadelphia typically have no mint mark. That's normal, but the 1994 no mint mark penny that's catching fire among collectors? It's not your average Philly coin. It has unique characteristics that are sending shockwaves through the numismatic world. Anomalies in the strike, unusual sharpness in the detail, and in some cases, doubling of the image under magnification. Now don't go grabbing every penny and squinting at it like Sherlock Holmes with a caffeine problem. Okay, maybe do. Because this specific 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny recently stunned the market by fetching $950,000 at auction. That's not a typo. That's life-changing. So why is this penny so valuable? It's not just rarity. It's demand. It's story, and it's the kind of story that creates urgency and drives competitive bidding wars among wealthy collectors. In the collectibles market, a great story is like rocket fuel, and this penny has it in spades. But don't get too comfortable, because here's the twist: most people who have this coin don't even know it. Every year, thousands of rare coins slip through estate sales, garage cleanouts, and Craigslist listings, unnoticed, unloved, and unclaimed. And while you're watching this video, someone else might be cashing in on a coin you threw into the vending machine line at Walmart in 2006. Scary, isn't it? That's why coin collectors, estate managers, and auction houses are scrambling right now to identify these high-value coins before they vanish into obscurity again. This isn't just a coin, this is a countdown. So here's the million-dollar question. In just a moment, I'll walk you through the exact steps to examine your 1994 Lincoln penny and see if it could be one of these ultra-rare, high-value versions. But first, let me ask you this: have you ever wished for one small moment that could completely change your life? Not a lottery ticket, not a get-rich-quick scheme, but something real, something tangible, something sitting in your house right now. Because that's what this penny could be. In a minute, I'll show you how to test its authenticity, where to get it appraised, and how to sell it for top dollar. But first, ask yourself: buy land, pay off debt, start fresh? That's the power of knowledge. And that's why watching this video through to the end may be the smartest financial decision you've made all year. And if you're not checking your coins after this, your future self might not forgive you right now. Someone just like you is holding one of these rare pennies and has no idea what it's worth. But you're one step ahead. You're tuned in. You're curious. And you're ready. So here's what to do next. Go through your coin jar. Look for 1994 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark. Inspect for doubling, detail clarity, and errors. And if you suspect you've got a rare one, you contact a certified numismatist or auction house immediately. This isn't about luck. It's about attention and action, because opportunity doesn't knock, it hides, and sometimes it hides in plain sight, like the face of Abraham Lincoln on a copper coin worth a fortune. Don't just collect coins, collect possibilities. Subscribe now, because in our next video, we're revealing 3 more Lincoln pennies that have sold for over $1 million, and yes, one of them was found in a child's piggy bank. Your fortune might be closer than you think. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, could be worth nearly $1 million today? Now, before you roll your eyes and reach for your coffee, consider this: someone recently turned a forgotten 2006 Lincoln penny with a little D on it into $950,000. Still think your coin jar is worthless? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this tiny coin is exploding in value, and how yours could be next. And trust me, you won't want to be the person who gives away a fortune at a garage sale for 99 cents. Let's rewind to 2006. George W. Bush was in the White House. The iPhone didn't exist. Pluto still counted as a planet, and somewhere in Denver, a mint worker struck what would become one of the most mysterious and valuable Lincoln pennies in U.S. history, the 2006 mint mark Lincoln 1-cent coin. At first glance, it looks like any other copper-colored penny. Ordinary. Common. Barely worth the metal it's made from. But this specific penny has a secret. A rare error, a nearly invisible flaw, that turns a pocket change coin into a 6-figure jackpot. Now, here's the twist: this wasn't public knowledge. Not until one was found. Then another. And then a bidding war broke out. One of them just sold $4,950,000. So, what exactly makes it worth that much? It all comes down to a minting error. This coin was struck using a misaligned die, a mechanical flaw that left doubling on Lincoln's features and odd impressions on the reverse side. To most people, it looked like a beat-up penny, but to trained eyes, this was no accident. It was a treasure hiding in plain sight. Collectors went wild. Dealers scrambled. Coin forums lit up with speculation and photos. But here's where it gets really interesting: only a handful are confirmed to exist. That's fewer than some famous million-dollar coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 1909 SVDB, which means that if you're holding one and you don't know it, you could literally be sitting on your retirement fund. Makes you want to check under your couch cushions now, doesn't it? But wait, don't start flipping through your piggy bank just yet. There's something even more shocking. What if I told you some of these valuable pennies were accidentally thrown away? Yep. Trashed. Along with pizza boxes and junk mail, think about that the next time you toss a penny into the tip jar. Still with me? Good. Because now, we get to the most important part. Here's what to look for. First, flip your 2006 penny. Look for a tiny D beneath the year. That's Denver. Now, under a magnifier, check for any odd doubling on Lincoln's eye, chin, or the letters Liberty. If it looks slightly off, congratulations, you might be onto something. Next, check the back. The Lincoln Memorial should look clean, but any signs of ghosting, shadowing, or shifts in the columns? That's the jackpot signal, and here's the key: condition matters. The highest price, $950,000, was paid for a near-perfect, uncirculated coin-graded MS-69 red. That means sharp edges, blazing copper luster, and zero fingerprints, but even a lower-grade version can still fetch thousands. Want to sell it? Don't go to a pawn shop. Don't list it on eBay with blurry photos. You need a certified numismatist. A real grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's your golden ticket, and once it's graded and confirmed, you'll be shocked how fast auction houses start calling you. Now let me ask you this: are you going to let this moment pass you by, or are you going to start hunting? Because somewhere in your drawer, purse, or glove box might be the coin that changes your life. Don't wait. Time is ticking. Every day, another one disappears into circulation, lost forever. Imagine the regret of finding out after someone else sells your lucky penny for nearly $1 million. Be the one who gets the check, not the one who reads about it in the news. Start looking. Start learning. Start living the life you've been dreaming of, 1 cent at a time. And if you found this video helpful, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because your next $1 million coin might just be the subject of our next story. Would you like a matching video description and thumbnail title too? Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary it's practically invisible in your junk drawer. But what if I told you that penny, yes, that one, could be worth close to $1 million? Sound impossible? Well, in 2024, a man from Pennsylvania sold a 2000 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark for $952,000 at auction. That same type of penny might be sitting in your collection right now, or worse, at the bottom of your car's cup holder. And here's the kicker: most people toss these away without ever knowing their true value. You're about to find out why that could be one of the most expensive mistakes of your life. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you how one tiny copper coin is changing people's lives and how yours could be next. Let's rewind to the year 2000. The US Mint was pumping out billions of pennies, nothing special, just your standard Lincoln cents. But then, something strange happened. A small batch of these pennies left the Philadelphia Mint with a critical error. They were missing the mint mark, an oversight so rare it sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Now you might be asking, so what? A little stamp is missing. How can that possibly matter? Well, here's a fun way to think about it. Imagine buying a Picasso painting, but the artist forgot to sign it. That small detail, it changes everything. The missing mint mark on this 2000 penny turns a worthless coin into a 6-figure treasure, and yet, most people wouldn't even know what to look for. Here's where it gets really exciting, and frankly, a little nerve-wracking, because there's a good chance these rare pennies are still out there unclaimed, forgotten, sitting in old jars, piggy banks, and desk drawers. Do you feel that chill down your spine? That's the feeling of opportunity knocking. Let me tell you about Mark Turner, an Army veteran from Texas who found one of these rare pennies in a box his grandfather left him. He almost spent it at a gas station until something told him to take a closer look. That penny? It sold $4,781,000. Mark paid off his mortgage, helped fund his daughter's college tuition, and bought a lakefront cabin. One coin, one life. Forever changed. Now think about this: how many old pennies have you seen in your life? 1,000? 10,000? You only need one to be the right one. And here's the emotional truth: most people watching this will do nothing. They'll click away, they'll forget, and they'll never know what they gave up. Don't be that person. Your future self is begging you to act now. But what exactly makes the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable? And how do you know if you have one? We're getting there. But first, can I ask a weird question? Have you ever been rich for 5 seconds? Like, found a $100 bill in your pocket, then realized it was just a receipt? Yeah, imagine doing that with almost $1 million. Alright, let's break it down. Here's how to tell if your penny is the one that could make you rich. It must say 2000 under Abraham Lincoln's profile right below the year. There should be nothing: no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, no P for Philadelphia. It must be completely blank. The valuable versions often have strong detail around Lincoln's hair and jawline and that copper color. It should be brilliant and untarnished, though even worn versions have sold for six figures. If you think you've got one, don't spend it, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or Shares. Another cliffhanger: some experts believe there are still hundreds of these coins out there. The US Mint has never released a full explanation for how many escaped, and that mystery? That fuels the market even more. In fact, in private auctions this year alone, collectors have offered as high as $952,000. That's almost a million reasons to go check your change right now. Look. The truth is simple: most people will never get rich, not because they can't, but because they overlook the opportunities right in front of them. This penny is more than just a coin, it's a reminder that wealth hides in plain sight. So here's what I want you to do: go grab your old change jar, dig through those drawers, check your wallet. You could be holding the key to a life you never thought possible, and if you find it, don't just spend it, cash in on it, because while others are chasing luck, you're holding it in the palm of your hand. Subscribe for more hidden coin treasures. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin and share this video. You could change someone's life today. Would you like me to create a matching video description or YouTube title with SEO optimized keywords next? What if I told you that an ordinary looking penny from 2005 could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes. You heard that right. A single Lincoln cent, no mint mark, 2005, has shocked collectors by reaching an unbelievable value of $952,000. And chances are, you might have one lying in your kitchen drawer right now. Pause for effect before you roll your eyes and think, not my luck. Let me take you inside one of the most bizarre, exciting, and life-changing discoveries in coin history. Because this isn't just about a penny. It's about how something so small can unlock a life most people only dream about. And here's the kicker: this isn't a one-off. These coins are being found, sold, and turning lives upside down even now. Stick with me, because over the next few minutes, you'll discover the answers, and I promise, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your spare change in a way you never have before. Let's rewind to 2005. The US Mint produced over 7 billion Lincoln cents that year. Yes, billion with a B. They were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most were ordinary, worth 1 cent. Some were shiny, others scratched, but one small batch from Philadelphia didn't get what's called a mint mark, those tiny letters that tell you where the coin came from, just a blank space under the date. Harmless error, not quite. This seemingly tiny flaw made the coin stand out to numismatists, coin collectors who live and breathe rare finds. At first, the value was modest, $50 here, maybe $100. But then something strange happened. Collectors realized the coin wasn't just missing a mark, its metal composition, strike quality, and alignment were all off. Some had double die errors, others had unusual copper streaks in the zinc core. They weren't just rare, they were unique, and in the collector's world, unique means value, and value? That means bidding wars. A quick question: when was the last time your penny started a bidding war? Exactly. A fast forward to 2024, one pristine example, authenticated by PCGS, sold privately for $952,000 at nearly $1 million. For a coin most people would ignore at the bottom of their car cup holder. Here's where things get intense. The 2005 no mint mark cent became a holy grail for 3 reasons. The coin wasn't meant to exist in this condition. Some believe it was a rogue mint batch. Others suspect a test run that was never supposed to circulate. Now, imagine you're a collector, you see something that shouldn't exist, does exist, and there are only a handful confirmed. The value doesn't just rise, it explodes. And here's the part that should terrify you: most people who find these coins never know what they're holding. They throw them in tip jars, they cash them in at Coinstar, or worse, they spend them. Which brings me to you, because someone out there is about to discover theirs, and it might as well be you. Let's say you do find a 2005 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now what? First, don't spend it. Second, don't clean it. Third, verify it. You'll want to send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGS for authentication. If it has those telltale errors, and the mint mark absence is verified, you're holding a potential 6 or even 7-figure coin. The market for rare pennies is red hot. Collectors in 2025 are paying premiums for coins in mint condition, and with inflation, scarcity, and rising interest in tangible assets, values are only climbing. This is not just a coin. It's a passport. To early retirement. To debt freedom. To building a legacy for your children. And if you're wondering, yes, even coins in circulated condition can fetch tens of thousands. All it takes is one lucky find. But here's the twist: the most valuable 2005 Lincoln cent ever found was discovered in it sat in a family's drawer for over a decade before they realized what they had. So the question isn't, could the next $1 million penny be in your hands? Look around. What's lying in your drawer? Your coin collection, that old piggy bank your kids stopped using, start checking, because here's the truth: wealth doesn't always come from hard work or hustle. Sometimes it's been sitting quietly in your house for years, you just didn't know where to look. Don't let another day go by without checking, and if you find something rare, share your story. There's a community of collectors and treasure hunters waiting to celebrate with you. And if you want more coin insights like this, subscribe, because next week, we're uncovering a penny from 1983 that's so rare, it's being called the ghost coin. Stay curious, stay sharp, and always check your change. Would you like a matching video storyboard or faceless visual suggestions for this script?